seed passage to Colapinto Muniz if a wave comes through. They're in non-priority heat, but of course if they find themselves a bit of space, they can do whatever they want in the context of priority between the two of them as well. Of course, E.Ewing, a decent start of the season from him. He'll love to go deep here, and a bit of a contrast to Silva, who actually needs a result. He had, yeah, absolutely. The other strength of his, of course, is his strength, and particularly in, like we talked about, how heavy these sections can be. So good at taking on heavy beach break lips. Here's a redirect, a whipping one from Ewing. And that bladey surfboard of his just looks electric and alive. Any kind of wave, that thing's just twitching into action.
Double E, right? So easy on the eye. I mean, every single time he does that swoop and redirects it to the radius of like maybe a half-cent mark. Here we go, Deivid Silva, geesh.
Silva committed to the float, arrives late. He's so good at doing that. It's actually the backhand float maneuver that paid him dividends in the elimination round yesterday, just up the beach in Moya-Leste.
Called it, Paul. Staunch, right? Solid stance here. Low center of gravity, so no problem to get up in the lip. Glide there, airdrop back down, and quick feet to get back up one more time. Strong, solid surfing by Deivid Silva. Check this out in slow motion. Gets a little bit of a rock there. Drops there. Pure air after that backside floater, and then quick feet to get back up in the lip one more time. Nice reply, and we'll see what the number that the judges give him, and see if he's going to be on top of E.Ewing, who's up in surfing.
Yeah, clean wave here for Ethan, and he'll wind into that a couple of times, just opening up the shoulders into the lip, and still gliding down the line. It's another nice turn done. So polished. Everything he does is, everything seems in perfect position. It looked nice.
Polished, shiny surfing. Look at this, just swinging, making it look so easy, loose on the rails. Has to skip over a bit of a curb there to get to the next section, but you know what? Exploits it and gets one more backhand re-entry up there. E.Ewing, love what I'm seeing here by Double E. Just swinging through it, and then you see difficult water here, has to skip over that section. No problem. Doesn't have to, no exaggerated kind of body mechanics on his end. It's just smooth, where a lot of surfers would be struggling to make speed. E.Ewing just utilizes angles, body mechanics, and technique to put that DHD through its paces.
Yeah, it's almost as if those slow-mo replays actually give a little extra value with Ethan, because you kind of appreciate just how technical his surfing is, because he's so easy on the eye as he watches the live, particularly as he surfs away from you down the line, because everything's so polished. Let's get caught up here. E.Ewing pulling in.
Oh, wow. A drainer for E.Ewing. Does a disappearing act, a small barrel, but this one just drained out. Behind the section here, disappears, comes through, and a open exit for E.Ewing, so didn't have to really battle out of that barrel like we've seen in the past with a couple of these surfers. Look at how he backdoors this section. Where does he go? He's way back there. Second section comes through here, maintains his rail line, forward drive for E.Ewing, and comes out the puka, the hole, no problem. Doesn't have to bust through the chandelier or anything. So well done.
Yeah, really deep one for E.Ewing. Extend his lead, make it tougher. Meanwhile, this is Silva in the non-priority heat.
Lethal backhand, Deivid Silva. I mean, his best CT result was utilizing that backhand over in 2021 in Mexico, and it was long bottom turns and targeting the lip just like that we're seeing in slow motion for Silva. Rotating the board all the way around, but then gets right back on those heels, staunch stance, and able to swing back vertical. So Deivid Silva, with that contrast of style between E.Ewing, we'll see how the numbers add up for these two, but I like the fact that Silva's able to just glide through there, gets the completion, looking really quick on his toes.
Yeah, really important wave for him.
Kind of up against the wall right now, Paul. He's got priority, but he needs a big number.
Yeah, it's got tougher for him, actually. Let's stick with live action. Deivid Silva here, so wasting a little time. And again, a couple of big hits, just slightly overdoes it there. And he'll be disappointed. That's a maneuver he's so good at. Needs a big number. Here's Deivid.
Yeah, so Deivid, you know, a nice start here, but this one late and over-rotated.
And he's not going to waste too much time out the back. He's going to go again here. Found himself a left, bit of shiny face in front of him, too much face in front of him. He'll realise pretty quickly. First saw it. He'll try and swing here. Won't even let him in. I think he realised that from the beginning. It was going to be a soft one. Silva will snaffle it up, though, and say thanks very much. And he'll just go to work here and keep banging away. Why not? Under the priority of E.Ewing, he will just keep swinging, but unable to find anything. You have to say a very well-surfed heat from Crosby Colapinto. And after wading out the hold for the low tide, just having to sort of dial back on all that prep that would have been done, throwing away really big numbers as well. Just been so dominant. Here's a look at a replay of E.Ewing, and that's just classic Ethan style. So polished, a vociferous crowd. Meanwhile, this was E.Ewing.
Yeah, Ethan, I mean, I think probably he is.
Ferreira, a massive favourite here on the beach, and he'll be absolutely buzzing from the ways he's been able to catch scores coming through his Silva. Meanwhile, live action, bang, massive hammer, and just hangs it up. 8.5 on the clock. He needs a number, 5.97. That was a big turn.
Big turn, and not much of a requirement for Deivid Silva to turn the heat. Take a look at this. Winds up, bats it right over the fence. Deivid Silva, 5.97 though. You're going to have to get a lot out of it. Pretty vert, throws the tail out the back, fins free. So we'll see. So I feel it's going to be right on the line. 15 waves total ridden between E.Ewing and Deivid Silva. Ewing with priority. He's going to use it, Paul.
All right, here he goes, live action. Ewing on a right-hander. And the floater puts it down to the flats, and almost inexplicably, because that is a relatively stock maneuver for him. We are absolutely loving watching this go down. A little belt of energy swinging in out of the Atlantic. Looks like we'll split the peak. We'll stay with the priority hitting Ewing. He'll grab the rail and pig dog. And from above, we'll watch this one spin down the beach. Requirement, let's get a look.
Let's see what happened here. Nice there. Oh, gets a little air under the board. Has to sneak into some open water again. Wants to fit in another turn, and he does. And that's exactly why he gave the fist pump than the previous one for his 5.3. So I would expect that number to be north. We'll see.
All right, let's see how this one goes. These are really tense moments. Ewing, meanwhile, wants to have something to say about it. There's the flow from him. There's a nice combo. Loads of spray coming off that board. And he'll look to bring this in here. It's been a while since he added to his score. Let's see if he can do that. Let's get another look at Ethan.
Oh, this is important for E.Ewing, because if Deivid Silva is able to turn that heat, he's going to need to respond. And he had to go a long way to get those turns in there.
And it's good news for E.Ewing. Deivid Silva won't get a number. It's a 5.2 for him. Ethan did actually get an improvement anyway. So even if that number had come in, there was an improvement from E.Ewing at the end of that heat. So well surfed. He was in a spot of bother there when we were watching those replays, waiting for that number to come through. But E.Ewing will be absolutely delighted to get out of another tough heat.